a bit annoying to deal with, so they managed to shove that lane out now after forcing LGD out of there. And now they do have a smoke up on bot lane.
Nice Doom is being thrown out on Arme. He's got no way out of this one, and that's the kill Mineski really wanted. Arme, he was farming so darn well. 6.3k net worth on the Naga Siren. That should slow things down just a bit. Arjit finding himself just behind him in terms of net worth at the moment, and that, again, it will just give him a bit of time to catch up, not let the Naga escalate too far. Although, he does go on the Medusa with the double damage. X-Nova didn't get the stun out in time, so it looks like Arjit will be alright. But it does look like maybe he's planning to try and force a bit of more damage on this mid-tier 1 if he can. In fact, no, he will return to the jungle with double damage instead. Just gotta focus on that farm.
Yeah, I think that's a fair choice to make again. You do want a little bit more in your Medusa. She does have a pretty good timing on that Yasha and Power Treads, but needs a lot more, of course, to really start to be a hassle to deal with.
FY, it looks like he's planning to rush a Blink Dagger on this Enigma straight after the Arcane boots he picked up. He does find Arjit, but he cops a lot of damage. Throws the Midnight Pulse down, but he's dead. Rather unusual play from FY to just run up the hill like that. Not expecting anyone to be there, and he kind of hesitated. It looks like he thought about throwing out the black hole, but realized there was really no point to it. Fortunately for his sake, does end up losing his life again.
It's probably due to that ward they planted really deep in that jungle, just giving them that forward vision in the entrances. Might with a ward like that, you'd think it's pretty safe, but it does have blind spots, and FY does pay with his life for that rotation.
Again, we see this even trade going on here between both teams. Mineski, they ended up getting the top tier 1, so LGD immediately will go for the bottom tier 1, though they won't actually be able to clear that tower out. Push, of course, is just not as fast on the side of LGD quite yet, and it looks like, again, FY is going to be the target here. They decrepify, they wait for him in, and he is dead. The rotation is there from X-Nova, but it's all too late, although no, they're going to the shrine. They want to actually fight this one. Split will be there, but who's the target here for Chalice? It looks like he wants the Pugna. Still hasn't found him. Dark Rift is also coming in on the creeps, and that should force LGD back, but Chalice continues moving forward with those spirits. He has, of course, set up the Earth Spirit to be able to back himself out. Raging. They want to burst him down. The Melody's being placed. Death Ward as well. The KP is tanking all that Death Ward damage, and now Arjit coming back in. Who do they aim for? Black Hole will not come out. The Doom was there from Raging Potato just in time. Moon again healing up. Doom keeping alive throughout all this, and somehow nobody's dead on either side quite yet.
Yeah, that's a really safe play from both sides, not overly committing to getting any kill, and that was a pretty deep chase from Mineski. They do expend a duel there, so that is an opening for LGD if they so choose.
Seems like just the main focus in these engagements as well is just Mineski just constantly trying to find FY and get him off the map. Of course, the black hole is really a game changer, so you do have to get that out of the way. Moon. Run into some Eidolons and clear those out. LGD just realizing that they just need to get that farm back up because they have fallen slightly behind. There's a 4k net worth lead now from Mineski, and you kind of think to yourself that really shouldn't be happening when you've got a Naga and a Medusa on your side of things, but Mineski is playing rather well, and they found FY again. Moon just comes in and snipes him. He's risking his own life for that, but apparently maybe cannot find this kill. And Moon, they'll smoke up. He still has double damage available. They are going to go after the Medusa. This would be a massive kill if they could find it. A lot of damage being drained there from maybe. Ninja Boogie couldn't get in range for the Frostbite. Now the Stone Gate's coming out. Arjit, he was facing forward. They'll throw the Melody and the Death Ward at him, though he will strength more. No. And it looks like he will survive. Maybe he's losing his own life somehow.
That was pretty scary. Arjit just getting frozen by that gaze, and the stuns coming out from Witch Doctor, but managing to unfreeze in time, and just attribute shift. That was pretty scary, but that was definitely worthwhile. That's a risk that paid off. They managed to get the kill on the Medusa and just slowing down Maybe's farm once again. Gonna hurt the cause of LGD. Just not even finding that Manta style yet. Almost there, but you know, with all these stats and all the pressure coming out from Mineski, just not even getting that up yet.
Now that tier 2 tower is going to be under siege. Jit, the song is there, they want to set up, FY coming in and has the black hole. He'll probably commit it for this pickup, but can they find it? Decrepify was there again from Moon, and he's keeping him alive, but no, they will get it this time around. It's a kill they desperately needed on the side of LGD. Meanwhile, the mid lane, the Dark Rift is there, and KP gets himself found. The only problem is he was the only one that left. He kind of forgot the passengers. Ninja Boogie now going to be chased down, and LGD looking to punish even further, and they will find 2 for their trouble.
Mineski's not backing off. Raging's still moving forward.
Raging does not know how to back off, John. This guy is the manliest of men, and he will move forward. He sees FY. Goes into the Scorched Earth, goes straight onto Chalice, Infernal Blade, the buybacks as well. FY is dead to Moon. Can they find anybody else? It looks like they really want maybe on that Medusa once again, though she does have a Manta up now. That will make things just slightly harder. KP will be able to hold him in place. Now Raging is there as well, though. Melodic and Deathward from X-Nova, but Arjit has found him, and LGD lose 3 heroes.
I mean, that begs the question, who was really punished in that exchange, Mike? It certainly looks like LGD took a bit more than Mineski does in the end. I mean, they managed to kill off Ajit, sure, but he just respawns, they go in, they find 3 more kills on pretty big heroes. I mean, granted, that's still, you know, a core plus 2 supports compared to losing a core and a support. I'd argue it's very, very big that FY has died so many times. He's not going to hit the timings on his items at the moment he wants them. He's trying to rush that BKB now to alleviate some of this pressure. It's not going to be online too early unless they really give him all the farm priority here.
Jit, not only does he have an Aegis, John, he has an Ethereal Blade completed, and that's just going to make matters that much worse for LGD. Still, the Naga Siren keeping up in farm, but it's just not enough to really be online and go for these engagements. Name just forced to continue farming. And this is our beef with the Naga Siren picks, John, is that it just takes so long to actually be able to fight with your team.
It really does. Again, it can do a lot of work. It's usually never seen active until 25-30 minutes in. Even with the items that Ame has, I mean, that Diffusal, that Yasha, she can right-click quite hard, but it's just not quite there yet. Looks like they might be able to get that kill on Ninja, though.
Yeah, but they should be able to, though. No, Decrepify from Moon again, wow. Saving the day.
Wow.
This man is just everywhere. I mean, Moon is already kind of my MVP if Mineski do win this matchup. He's playing unbelievable. Mid lane, they do jump straight onto maybe, and it looks like this should be a kill. Jit, they will doom him up just in case, and they'll find it. At 7-13 now, 7k net worth lead. And it looks like they really want that tier 2 tower in the mid lane, and that's just going to make matters worse, because LGD will just have that much less space to farm in. And with this many cores that need that much farm, it's never going to be good news. In fact, they're going to go for tier 3s perhaps.
Yeah, there's no fear here from Mineski.
They still have the Aegis. I guess we'll bring up the buyback status just to see who has it. We do know that maybe does not. And the tier 3 definitely going to go down. Brewmaster Chalice, I believe that was his TP cancelled off, and it was. Ninja Boogie actually cancels off the TP, and now Chalice, they force out the split. That means no defense will be coming out of LGD. Chalice will find Ninja Boogie, but Ninja Boogie will not mind whatsoever. A mid-rax going down 21 minutes into this game. I've got to tell you, I don't think either of us were expecting to see this going into game number 1.
No, definitely not. That was a really strange non-defense. It wasn't a defense. There was no defense coming out from LGD. Not something you expect to see at 21 minutes in. With the lineup you have, just... I understand, though, that LGD probably figured they couldn't take that fight without Black Hole on FY. Even then, FY lacks an initiation tool. Doesn't have that blink, doesn't have that BKB. The defense was always going to be hard. So I guess they really just settled to find what they can around the map. Get some farm going on Ame, and pretty much just accept the fact you're going to lose 1 Rax. And they do. It might pay off the lack of this defense, but that does give Mineski enough time that the next time a push or a fight breaks out, they're going to have Doom back up.
Well, I think that was just the point, though. Like, Ninja Boogie just understanding if he could cancel that TP off from Chalice, there was just no way that LGD would engage to try and defend. That was basically just a free Rax and 1 Frostbite coming out from Ninja Boogie, really saving it for his team and allowing them to get in there and get the job done. Nevertheless, though, LGD, again, they do have the draft that can just push out even Mega Creeps. Like with the Medusa Naga Siren, you're not too concerned, even if you do get those Mega Creeps against you.
Yeah, you certainly have ways of dealing with that. I mean, as you mentioned, the Naga can clear it out quite well, the Medusa can clear it out quite well. Even the Enigma can kind of deal with these Mega Creeps in its own way. They do smoke up, but it looks like Mineski's also smoked up as well.
Yeah. And Arjit, I mean, it's almost like he's baiting at this point. They know they're there. They jump in straight onto Chalice and doom him up. There'll be no split coming out for him. Meanwhile, the Stone Gaze was committed, but nobody is focusing, maybe. They'll burst down X-Nova. Shrine has been committed, but Arme, he'll take down Ninja Boogie. That's really all they've gotten so far. They'll go after the Naga Siren, and there's the song coming out.
Oh.
The immediate TP, FY, he was there, ready with the black hole, but they'd already started the TP.
Oh man, FY.
They'll find him as well.
No.
Oh no.
No. He was baited, Mike. He was baited. They were lined up. Ame lined them up. FY was going. They must have talked about it, but they decided to back off too late, and he just can't TP out.
I mean, they'd already used the Doom as well. There was actually no way to cancel the black hole once it come out. It was supposedly 3 easy kills right there, but perhaps a bit of miscommunication. Maybe he started TPing very early on, as soon as that song came out. Without the Medusa, they weren't going to have the DPS anyway. Very unfortunate for LGD, and Mineski going to capitalize as much as they can. In fact, they're going again. X-Nova, perhaps the target. They have a sentry ward down, though the stun will be there, and Moon will finally lose his life. Dominating spree will go the way of the Medusa, and maybe probably going to be very happy about that.
Yeah, that's a nice little clean pickup for the way of LGD. Of course, gives your Medusa just a little bit more to work with. It's still a long way from that Scotty that maybe has queued up, so it's going to be a while until that item comes out. Does have a Dragon Lance to help the cause though, a little bit more HP, a little bit more agi to speed yourself up in that farm, and just gives you a little bit more safe space to apply that damage, but it's still going to be a while until we see maybe really be a major threat in this game. And again, that is LGD's main draft issue. Just, it will take a while for all of these heroes to come online. I mean, we're looking at Ame. Ame's starting to build up towards that heart. Has 2 items out of 4 ready, but it's still a fair bit away from that last bit of gold for it. And even then, will that heart be enough? Because they can live long enough, but the damage still isn't there until maybe he's ready to fight.
John, how long has it been since we've seen FY shut down this hard?
It's been a while. It's really been a while, and he did have a really good laning phase. It's just that in his quest to find farm.
Mid lane, John, they've lined him up. FY, he'll come in. Can they cancel it? It doesn't really look like they can. It's a lot of damage as well coming out from the side of LGD. A fantastic setup, and they will find Arjit and KP. Ironic that we were just talking about FY, John. He does find what LGD needed. Now they even found another. Ninja Boogie, just a sitting duck, will accept his death. That'll be a tier 2 mid tower going down. And LGD perhaps could get in range of that tier 3 to maybe apply a bit of pressure. Perhaps find a Rax if they can find another hero. The Moon.
The balls in this guy.
Very risky. Him and Raging Potato are having a competition as to who can be more manly at the moment.
This is going to be a bit of a rough push though, because once these heroes respawn, they do not have the song, they do not have the black hole.
U3 does cop a lot of damage, but it will not go down quite yet. I guess that goes to show what LGD really needs to bring themselves back into this game. Just one good song into a black hole, and it's practically just over for Mineski, which is perhaps why they've been overly aggressive. this game, just not allowing them that opportunity to actually set up with the song. See if they can do that one more time. Arjit, meanwhile, looking at that Morphling, does have a full Eye of Skadi up, and he's going to be going straight into the BKB next. He doesn't really leave himself with any buyback gold, though, so he's going to be very wary of that.
Yeah, again, that's a really risky play. Mineski has been playing a bit on the edge, really turning around to take fights that you don't expect, but they have been making it work. I actually expected them to take a smoke after they all respawned, mainly because all those big cooldowns, again, were still off. You could take a fight as long as FY doesn't have his black hole. Would have been fairly simple, really. Find different targets, maybe prioritize the Medusa in that case, take them out fast, or just doom the Brewmaster once again, stop that split from coming out, and that will secure your fight. As long as one or two of these spells are out of combat, Mineski can take that advantage.
FY does finally have a BKB up. We'll go into the Blink Dagger next. Top lane is about to be pushed in by Arjit. He really wants to find that tier 2 tower. Well, speaking of Arjit, I just spoke about how he got that Eye of Skadi up, but he has really started to fall slightly behind in terms of gold. Just all Arme, who just picked up a heart as well. This could be the real turning point for LGD if they can keep it up. So you look at Mineski setting up for that top lane. They're getting sick of this split push coming out from the Naga Siren and the Eidolons from FY. For LGD, they'll go down bot lane and they will secure themselves a 1 tower, and it looks like they are going to be here to defend the top lane as well. In fact, I say that, but they are going to sit in the base for a bit.
Yeah, it looks like they are happy to trade away that tier 2. Not sure if they're going to go for an engagement here. They do clump up anyway, but Mineski backs off. Not opting to take that high ground push yet. Pretty smart move. I don't think they have the tools quite yet. Maybe the next Roche will open that up, but as of yet, no.
They see the Medusa though. KP, Dark Rift's into the team as well. Maybe. Arjit does get spotted by him. Had he moved any further, that could have been death, although Raging Potato. Mineski now, they do make it obvious where they were. That'll mean LGD, of course, will get back up the high ground. They don't really want to engage unless it's on their terms. That being said, the Roshan is available right now. Double damage is sitting there for Arjit as well. This could be a very quick Roshan if they wish to take it, but it looks like LGD want to take a fight. They don't realize the double damage is there though.
Oh, no.
The nice song will come out. They've core raging and they've caught the Morphling. Where's FY though? He's not actually around at the moment, and they'll be able to just walk away from the song. Raging Potato still copying a lot of damage even with that BKB. It looks like meanwhile in the back lines they will end up finding Ninja Boogie, but that's pretty much it. Raging, he does get snared up. Arme will find the secondary kill for his side, and with that, they'll move straight into that Roshan pit and see if they can steal it away from the side of Mineski. Now hold on a minute, FY. BKB's up, turns back around, trying to find Arjit. He's out of range for the black hole. Buyback is there as well from Raging Potato. Unfortunately, Ninja Boogie does not have a buyback available, and it looks like that one buyback from Raging will be enough for LGD to just halt that Roshan for the moment.
That was FY's BKB reveal as well. So that was his 10-second BKB going to just dodge damage, not even being able to commit to that black hole. Again, it does feel like LGD rushed into that fight too early. FY was not in position to get a good black hole in the cores, and it does cost them a bit.
Certainly does. Song will be back up now though. It's a very short cooldown at level 3. I was going to say it's a nice opening there for Mineski to try and take the Roche, but with the Song available in accordance with the Stone Gaze and Black Hole, just going to be way too much to deal with. The only advantage they do have if they do engage right now is the fact that the split isn't available on Chalice. Although, maybe. Pick up an invisibility rune for himself. They are coming out onto maybe they're not where he is. But they must know OG is just behind him on the high ground. It looks like both teams, again, will just back off. Just wait for their next, well, their next terms, essentially, whenever they're ready to engage.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. I want to point out something, Mike. KP on this Underlord is queuing up a Dagon.
Yeah, that's strange.
Not Pipe, already has the Crimson Guard, not a Guardian's Greaves. He is going for the Dagon.
I guess with the Decrepify and the Ethereal Blade on it, it's just a matter of bursting someone down immediately.
Does seem that Mineski is thinking that way.
We remember back a long time ago, there was a legendary game between EG and eHome where they did force a massive comeback doing the Dagon stacks. But right now the Roshan is being taken, so Mineski, are they moving in? Looks like Ninja Boogie will scout it out, but the HP is already so low. Raging, he'll jump in, but there's the song. No BKB's being committed quite yet. Split will be there. Why? Who's he gonna black hole? Nobody quite yet. Meanwhile, looks like Moon is going straight after Witch Doctor, but X-Nova will survive it for the moment. Raging still alive as well. Meanwhile, the Roshan's still going black hole as well. FY, he finds the Doom just by himself. Ninja Boogie just letting it go. It will finally take the Doom down. And Moon also lost his life, but Arjun, he moved in. Chalice forced to take the Aegis for the side of LGD. It looks like Arjun is losing way too much HP. He's gone as well. KP, just a sitting duck right now. He's got no chance of getting out of this one, and it could just be a full team wipe because Ninja Boogie is a very, very, very slow icy woman, John, although he will go for the TP and he will actually make it out. But 4-man wipe coming up from Mineski, and they do manage to get the Aegis up on LGD.
Yeah, really big win for LGD, just managing to get the objectives they need. Pretty messy initiation from Mineski. They start out with sending Raging Potato in as the Doom. I feel like would have been a big thing if he did manage to get that War Stomp successfully. The reaction time from Ame is just too good, immediately popping that song to stop any sort of shenanigans coming out, and really just scattered after that. A bit messy coming out from Mineski, not managing to really get the targets they want and align their sights evenly, so it does cost them extremely. They are going to lose at least one set of racks, possibly two, because the push is pretty fast for LGD.
KP gonna move in. They're gonna try and protect that secondary racks though. For the moment, maybe does not back on. Though, hold on a minute, he's being caught out. Again, another song already available. No black hole this time. Everyone just going for the TP plays. They will manage to hold on to that melee barracks. They do lose one, but that'll pretty much just even out the game.
Yeah, and looks like Mineski's on the hunt already.
I really do like this playstyle from Mineski. They just never let up. Continue moving forward. It is only X-Nova, mind you, but at this time of the game, it's pretty much just any kill you can find is well worth it. Maybe spots him out, and he will blink in with the Infernal Blade, and there's the stun as well. Cape will be there to delay things. X-Nova throws out the Death Ward. Wasn't sure about that one, but he does end up going down regardless.
Yeah, again, pretty straightforward kill for Mineski. I do like how fast they decided to do that immediately after the defense. Really nice aggression coming out. Something to watch out for if you are LGD, because they do have that option. As long as the creep waves are pushed out, Mineski can transition pretty close to your base.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
Bot tier 2 under siege, as well as the shrine here from Mineski. LGD are slowly moving towards that shrine, but it's pretty much already gone.
Bottom shrine has fallen.
Now Moon just pretty much solo pushing the bot lane with those double siege creeps. He is going to get caught out, however. Not the greatest with news. Perhaps stuck around a bit too long. Black hole being committed for this as well. They do not want to mess around. That's a big commitment for a solo Pugner. But he also has no buyback in it. If LGD realized that, I suppose you could call it worth.
It could definitely be worth it if they manage to do something in this 1 minute window. They could possibly take that tier 2 down bot. They are pinging it out. There is ping outs from Mineski to defend, but I'm not sure if that is really the best black hole we've seen. It might be costly in the next team fight as well if Mineski understands that they can use this to their advantage.
Sure they do as well, but just looking at the cores of LGD, it's that point where they're just so farmed up. Medusa just picked up a butterfly. You've got an Eye of Sky available in the Naga Siren now, and she's sitting at around 4.5k HP at tier 3. And they defend Arjit, then move in, morphs into the Brewmaster, the Doom is there straight onto the Medusa because they don't want that Stone Gaze, but they still can't take it around. Though Shotgun is there, Arjit, he will get the Ninja Boogie has lost his own life and will buy back immediately. Now KP gets tornadoed up. FY, I guess it's that point where he can't really do anything without the black hole. He does get rooted in place. BKB commit.
Oh man.
Arjit does not care for the BKB. He hits like an absolute truck. They will lose too, and I mean, John, you called it. Did say that Mineski may take advantage of the fact that the black hole wasn't there, and well, they did.
Yeah, again, it comes down to that decision to commit so hard on Moon. And he was all alone. Mineski did leave him behind. The issue was LGD was not aware of that. They had no wards in their jungle, no way to really know where Mineski was. All they knew was that Moon was out in the open. So they assumed, because Moon was so far forward, of course, that everyone else would be hanging back. They weren't. And that does cost them that uphill push, which they did force the issue out of. They do manage to at least take a Rax while everything was being shoved earlier on, but it is pretty costly. That does mean that Mineski has a bit more room to breathe now. Roshan still isn't up, so not really the best time for Mineski to try and take that yet. But it buys them time. It buys them time to play catch-up on Ajit, gives them some time to get a bit more items going, gives them time to shove out lanes to get some control back.
Certainly does. Dagon 1 is actually up on KB, by the way, but a nice song coming out from Armay to set up. He dishes out so much damage as well. Can they get rid of Moon? He does decrepify. Dark Rift will come out. KB just trying to get him out of there, and that is a very nice Dark Rift indeed. LGD would have been very, very happy with those kills, but unfortunately for them, they do not manage to find them. Though it looks like they will push forward and try to find somebody else if they can. Raging currently the closest one to them, as well as Ninja Boogie. LGD, they do manage to find 3 bounty runes as well. Of course, those bounties are starting to become very, very valuable. Actually at that 40-minute mark.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
And as it stands, like,
bottom shrine has fallen.
It does really look like this is LGD's game to lose. Like, they're 11k ahead now in terms of net worth. You've got a Medusa and a Naga on your side, which are really, really tanked up and already farmed very well. That will bring up the win probability, and currently Dota Plus believes 90% is the probability of LGD winning.
Yeah, they have met all the conditions they want in this game. They've gotten the farm in their cores quite well. They've held out past the 30-minute mark. They've taken quite a fair few objectives off the map for Mineski now, and they are taking pretty good control of the map. So it is their game to lose now if they decide, you know, it's all on them to really make it happen. And they are just, you know, they can take their time here. They're in no rush at all. They have 2 great scaling heroes, and Mineski, you know, they don't really have a great response for that. I mean, all they have is Ajit's Morphling, who is facing issues now with the BKBs coming out, with, you know, the tankiness on these cores now. You can't really burst them down that fast. He is struggling to keep up, I feel, and it's going to be a bit of a rough time for Mineski. They have to really get the pickoffs they need.
Look at Armay as well now, John. He has the full sight device up on the Naga. Meanwhile, maybe we'll go ahead up at that top lane. We'll take out the range racks that was left, and that'll just mean the bot raxes be the last barrier between LGD and Mega Creeps. Mineski's certainly not feeling the greatest right now. Like, you look at Arjit, he was so far ahead in farm, but it feels like he's fallen just quite a bit behind. Latest item pickup was the BKB, which he did desperately need, but apart from that, it feels like he does need a lot more item progression to actually be able to contest both these cores from LGD.
Yeah, it's a rough time for Mineski again. They do have some tools to play with. The fact that Ajit can turn into the Naga Siren, for example, does allow him to just shove out a lane pretty, pretty carelessly, carefree at very least, so he can just kind of do that risk-free. He did opt to take the morph target, ally morph, and I'm not really sure which hero he really opts to morph into. None of them seem to have the best synergy with a Morphling. Nothing like a Earthshaker this time around to pump up his damage, so probably the added control is what they're going for. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to maximize that really, as, again, in every engagement coming out with LGD just tends to jump and target Ajit first. He is their top priority, and it has paid off for LGD in all these engagements.
Certainly has. Speaking of paying off, the Roshan is now available. Illusions from LGD will find it. Scanning is there from Mineski. They will know they were around that Roshan pit, but they've got to get there pretty darn fast if they want to contest. This will be the third Roshan of the game, so you do have the refresh shot available as well. And on top of that, it does look like FY is planning to farm up a refresher orb for himself. In fact, he does have the whole thing now. So, you now have 3 black holes available in FY. At the very least, if he's not there in time for 1, we'll have another 2.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an issue here for Mineski. I do like that LGD did give the cheese over to the Enigma as well, because I don't think he really has the mana to completely sustain all these black holes. So that cheese will come in handy, and that is going to be an issue for Mineski. Even if they can cancel off 1 black hole, I don't think they have it in the cancel 2.
See how effective these Dagons are in doing so, but he's got a Lincoln's and a BKB up on the Enigma, so probably not going to do too much. Looks like LGD are to start pushing forward on that bot lane, though there is a bit of a loop around in the mid lane. In fact, no, hold on a minute. They found the song. Now the double black hole as well. They left Arjit for the moment, but they've already lost 2 on the side of Mineski. Refreshed immediately as well. So you've got the secondary black hole now ready to go. KB can't really defend this one by himself. Arme going straight after him with that side device. Look at the damage he's pumping out as well. It's way too much, and he's lost his life, but he will buy it back. Now raging. He'll throw out the team onto challenge. Arjit, he BKB's up and FY found it. The black hole is there in time. KB with the dark grip. Can he get him out of it? No, he cannot. He will end up dying. Mineski, how do you even defend at this rate? Arme moves forward, gets a dieback on the Doom. Arjit has fought back. We'll throw the Ethereal up, but they're now going for T4 towers. 3 heroes left to defend against 5, and there is still one more black hole to go.
Oh.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's going to be a really hard defense. I mean, that's, as you mentioned, 3 versus 5 and the black hole.
Well, they've called GG. They've had enough. Mineski, there's the black hole. F1 throws it out in celebration. He was already called. LGD, I mean, that looked super bad for them the first 25 minutes, but